Welcome to One on One with the Grim One. I am your host, the Joan Rivers of black metal, the Slayer of posers, the most electrifying man in corpse entertainment, the Necrosexual. And we're here in my room, but we're graced by the presence of royalty. Of course, the metal queen, Doro Pesch, joining us today. Doro, how the hell are you?
Hey, oh wow, great to talk to you again, and yeah, I'm excited. And I just had a nice tour in England. I just came back from England, and things are getting better, so we're all in good spirits. Yeah.
I took a little bit of extra time to put my face on today because I knew you would look turned up to 10 as always.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you look great as always. And yeah.
It's been one hell of a year and a half. And you're somebody who's been busting your ass since the 80s, making music, going on the road, going on tours with Warlock and your own eponymous band, Doro. So once the pandemic happened and things came screeching to a halt, tell me, did you learn anything about yourself? What was that experience like for you to stand still and sort of do nothing for a while?
Yeah, actually, yeah, we always tried to play whatever was possible, and it was pretty weird. We had many adventures, and yeah, the first festival started a few weeks ago. My first one was in Belgium, the Alcatraz Festival, and it was really cool. Everybody, was so, oh man, so excited, on fire. And then we just did this England tour, and we played an English festival in Sheffield. And I saw many, many friends of mine again. That was actually pretty cool. Paul Quinn from Saxon, he came up and he played with us. And on this England tour, I met KK Downing again from Judas Priest. And we did this great tour in '86 together, the Turbo tour in Europe. So we had great memories to share. So yeah, so everything was pretty wild, totally different. But I did 2 records when we couldn't tour anymore, and one was the best of, has 56 songs on it. That's the one. That's the Magic Diamonds, Best of Rock, Ballads, and Rare Treasures. Rare Treasures are all unreleased tracks, and I think the fans like that the most. Yeah, and then we just put together the Triumph and Agony live because we recorded it in 2017 to 2018 to 2019. That's the box set. And
look at that. That's always the show person. I love it. You got your stuff ready to display and everything.
Of course. My whole, in America, I have an apartment. Everything is full with records and everything, magazines, and here it's the same. So yeah, but usually, usually I don't even have space to sleep. It's all, stuff all over, and but we did these 2 records, and it took a couple of months, and then I was doing some drive-in shows, which many people said, "Oh, that's bullshit," but I tell you, I loved it. It was great. It was extra hard work, but people were excited, and it looked actually like our All We Are video. I don't know if you still remember it, when we were hopping on a tour bus performing in front of cars. And when I did my first drive-in show, I thought, wow, that's deja vu. It looks exactly like that, and it was fun. It is hard work, yes, but it was good, and we could keep it going, and and then we did tons of stuff, but but now it's getting back to normal, and of course that's the absolute best, but sure. We are still, everybody was, like keeping in good shape, and that was good too. I think taking a break, that's always dangerous, because maybe you can't get back into it so much, so good. And and many people gave up. Many of my friends, musicians or guys in the road crew, they couldn't afford a living anymore, so they had to quit music. And I thought, oh no, we don't want to do that. No.
And of course, a new album out, Triumph and Agony Live, celebrating its 35th anniversary. So that classic Warlock album is officially old enough to have a midlife crisis at 35 years old. When you recorded this album 35 years ago, did you think, or did you have any inkling of an idea that it would still be such a massive milestone album for heavy metal maniacs almost 4 decades later?
Oh man, no, we really felt there was a lot of magic going on, and we could tell there was so much excitement, so much power, but no, we had no idea. And then actually when we did our video, we did it in LA with a great video director. His name was Mark Ressica, and it was a big production. Like I think 150 people were walking around, and I thought, wow, man, looks like a Steven Spielberg movie. And then I felt, man, maybe it could be big. And then the video got played by MTV Inside Out, and Headbangers Ball was still going on. Yeah, and then suddenly we realized, wow, it's doing something and might become a big song for us, a big hit. And yeah, and then when we went on tour, in Europe, we went on tour with the legendary Ronnie James Dio, which was my favorite singer. And that was an awesome tour. And then in America, we went on tour with Megadeth and Sanctuary. And then suddenly it became something. But doing it felt great. It was so cool. Many people got involved, and it was like, wow, full power. We had a couple of drum takes played by Cozy Powell, the legendary Cozy Powell. That was powerful, man, I tell you. And he had drumsticks. They were like this thick. They were almost as thick as my arm. And, So, yeah, you could tell there was something going on. We did, Burning the Witches was first album, Hellbound, second, True Steel, third. And then I could do a little promotion tour in America for 3 days. And then after 2 days, I knew I wanted to stay. And then we started the Triumph and Agony album in New York, Philadelphia. And it was 87, so the best time for metal. So we were really lucky.
Yes, the best time for metal. Also, the year I was born. Coincidence? Decide for yourself.
There you go.
You have an iconic voice that has inspired many raging heavy metal hard-ons. How do you keep your pipes?
It just pops out. I think the more you do it, the better the voice and the pipes are getting stronger. So, so just just do it, go for it, full force, always 150%. And I think now the voice is even stronger than in the 80s or when I started. And I can always sing 2, 3, 4 hour shows, no problem. It's always there. There was never any problem. Even when I get a bad cold or when I have a fever or when I'm, not feeling well, voice is always there. So I never have to worry about it. The body is aching like hell, but voice is always there. So.
The real steel. Did you ever take a vocal lesson?
Not while I was growing up, but when I had my first couple of bands. First band was Snakebite, then Beast, then Attack, and then Warlock. And then we did our second album. It was Hellbound. And many people were asking, hey, did you really study vocals, and did you take vocal lessons? And I thought, wow, everybody's asking. And I thought, I got to do it. So I did it. And it was sinfully expensive. And, and I thought, okay, doesn't feel good, but I want to do it, So after 1 year, everybody was saying, hey, Doro, what are you doing? The vocals sound different. And I said, I'm taking vocal lessons. And I said, okay. And then more and more people were asking. And I said, hey, Doro, you know what? Honestly, it sounded much better before you took vocal lessons. What are you doing? I thought, no, really? And I said, yes, and then I thought, okay, I did it. I can tell you, I took vocal lessons, but I think it didn't do much for me. And I think when you're a rock heavy metal singer, it should just come from your gut, from your heart. I think you don't need to mimic anybody, or maybe some breathing techniques would be good, but I think rock and metal should be natural, should be true and honest, true as steel. And but I did it because everybody was asking.
Another person who you went on tour with, who had a big heavy metal friendship with you, Ronnie James Dio. Tell me about your favorite Dio story.
My favorite Dio story. Yeah, it was actually on our tour. We did a couple of festivals, tours. First one was in 87. And then we did a great tour in America in 2000. And the tour started in San Francisco and it ended in Florida. We did 3 gigs in Florida, and I was watching every show, standing on the side of the stage and watching Dio perform and stuff. And then suddenly he left the stage, And everybody thought, wow, where's he going? Hopefully everything's all right. And then he came back with the second microphone. And then my guys, the band, they said, hey, Doro, that's probably for you. And I said, no. And then Ronnie came over and he said, hey, Doro, shall we do the encores together? And I said, Ronnie, I don't know the lyrics, like just a little bit. He said, doesn't matter, just, do what you can. Then he got me up on stage and we sang the last 3 songs arm in arm, like shouting it out. The fans, were, wow, they were so excited, they were singing along. And of course, like the encores, they were pretty, like songs everybody can sing along, like Long Live Rock and Roll and stuff. So, and it was so good when he put his arm around me. I felt like $1 million, and he was so sweet, so soulful, so kind. He was always taking care of the fans. Even when he was sick as a dog, he was standing outside the bus, giving everybody an autograph or a photo or, whatever people wanted, or a hug. And, I thought, wow, man, the greatest guy, is, going out of his way, even, like at the risk that he's getting really, really even sicker, that the tour is in danger. He was taking care of every single fan. And nobody could tell him, hey, Ronnie, come into the tour bus or, or don't do it. He said, no, every single fan has to be taken care of. And I thought, yeah, that's great. That's the way to do it. And the fans appreciated it so much. And yeah, so I was just like, from the first minute on, I was totally like blown away by his, by his kindness. Of course, the great voice, he's a great performer, but he was a super sweet soul, and we hit it off right away. And I miss him so much. Like Lemmy and Dio, they were my best friends in the music business, and I still feel them. They're still around. I feel it's like not all lost. And of course, when I hear the music, then, I'm right there, like the memories there, right? Like, it feels like it was yesterday,
Both Lemmy and Dio, they were men of the people. And I feel like you have also taken that mentality. You might be the metal queen, but you spend plenty of time with your subjects at shows, with autographs, taking pictures, always having a relationship with your fans. Tell me about that.
Yes, I love the fans more than anything in this world, besides maybe my mom. My dad, he's in heaven. But the fans, that was like, from the first gig I did, I felt it was a deep, like friendship, trust, connection. And, and I live for the fans. That's the reason why I've never been married. I don't have kids. I never settled down. For me, it's the fans. That's my true love. And, and every single one, most of the fans I know by name, and I will never forget the face. Usually, like, even when somebody said, hey, do you remember me from 1984? Yes, of course. And yeah, and worldwide. And somehow, other people I might forget, like, business people, then, because it didn't mean anything to me. But the fans, they mean the world to me. And it was always that way. It just got more and more intense. I feel like in the beginning, I thought, wow, this is awesome. And now, I feel that is my world. That's why I'm here, I think, to make people happy and to empower them, to give them great metal power and energy, and, and to give them something, they can always count on. Like, I would never give up. I will always go, like 150% every gig, every song, every record, whatever. So, but it's for the fans. And I couldn't do it when I wouldn't feel the feedback or the love of the fans, because, man, the music business is pretty rough. And, and sometimes you have to really stand your ground, or fight for yourself, fight for your,
fight for your right to rock. Yeah,
exactly. So, but I always feel like, the foundation, that is the fans and the love, and it was always there. Yeah, I don't even know why. I can't really explain it, but it is. It just is.
In addition to Triumph and Agony celebrating an anniversary, of course, there are several landmark metal albums that also celebrated their 30-year anniversary in 2021. So I would like to play a quick lightning round with you where I named the album. So first one up, 1991, Metallica, the Black Album.
The Black Album. I love Metallica. I met the guys many, many times. Even before they became successful. We did, I think, our first gigs in Europe. It was, I think, in 1983, 84. We even played together when Cliff Burton was still alive. I met him. It was great to meet him. He was such a cool, laid-back guy. Yeah, and the Black Album, I felt it was a total milestone. Many, many great songs on there. One time I covered Nothing Else Matters because I thought, man, I wanna try it. I think it came out pretty good. And yeah, and I was always like, I always loved James Hetfield as a front person, as a singer. I think so unique, but the Black Album was definitely one of the best records in the world. And I think it was taking a chance to have a different sound. I think it was definitely taking risks, and, it was great that they did it. And I think, all the first records were great, but the Black Album, I was like, wow, that was like, yeah, you could tell, it would be big. I was at the same record label, and I heard it before it came out. It was in Europe. It was Phonogram, Polygram. And, I heard it first and I thought, wow, man. I thought, oh, this will be probably something. And then it was. And I think that's
the rest is history.
Still.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent. Next up, we have Ozzy Osbourne, No More Tears.
Yeah, another big album. Yeah, I played together with Ozzy Osbourne too many times. I remember one time it was the Metal Hammer Festival in Germany, 1989, and I met him. And man, he was really wild. His band got my band to drink senseless. I think we had to stop the tour because everybody was so drunk. It was Zach Wild who hooked my guys up with all that stuff. And No More Tears, I think, awesome album, awesome production. I think Lemmy he wrote a couple of lyrics for this album as well, which I like that, when Lemmy's teaming up with somebody. Yeah, and Ozzy, he's one of a kind, totally unique, totally lovable, because of his craziness and stuff. And I think it was a fantastic album.
Excellent segue, speaking of Lemmy, because also in 1991 you had Motorhead's 1916.
Yes, 1916. Yeah, that's one of my favorite tracks on this album. It is Love Me Forever. And that was actually my first duet I've ever done. And it was with Lemmy. We did Love Me Forever and Alone Again. It was a song Lemmy wrote on his acoustic guitar. He could actually play really good guitar. And Love Me Forever is still my favorite Motorhead song next to Ace of Spades. But 1916, I thought, was very deep album. The lyrics, I know he always loved these war stories, so it was all about that. But one of the songs totally got me. I think one time somebody drove me from somewhere in California. Actually, we drove 4 hours, and I only wanted to hear Love Me Forever. And it was a cassette, so you always had to put it on repeat. He said, "Are you sure you want to hear it again?" Yes. So for 4 hours, it was just one song. I think the guy, I drove him crazy, but he was very nice.
Who do you think the greatest vocalist of all time is?
Oh, I had many. Oh God, I had many people I loved so much. I love Rob Halford and David Coverdale and so many people. I love him so much, but I think the greatest to me was Ronnie James Dio. Yeah.
A big part of Triumph and Agony, this album was recorded in New York City.
In the Power Station studio, in New York.
Power Station, bringing the power. What's one of your favorite bands from New York City?
I like the hardcore scene. I'm a big fan of all the hardcore bands. The Chromax and Chromax I love so much, and all the whole New York hardcore scene. I love them all. And from metal, tell me who is from New York, who's really normal metal.
Normal, yeah. We did Carnivore, Typo Negative, Kiss, Anthrax.
Yes. I did one time a duet with Pete Steele, and I went to his house, and it was great. So so Type O Negative, that was really awesome. I loved Pete Steele. I think he was one of the best, like the best, most powerful, like characters and voices. So Type O Negative, I would say. And Kiss, are they really out of New York? Yeah, I know they had an office there in New York, because that's when I met Gene Simmons in 1990. Actually, 1989, I met him first. I introduced them to the Monsters of Rock festivals in Europe, and then I thought, man, I would love to do something together, or maybe cover a Kiss song. And then my manager, he called me, he said, Doro, meet me 57th Street. And there was a hotel. It was called Parker Meridian. And I went there, and I was living in Manhattan. And then he said, it's a surprise. So I got there, and then my manager's name was Alex. And I said, okay, Alex, tell me, who is it? And I thought maybe some friends from Germany or family. And then he said, Gene Simmons. And I said, no way, you didn't tell me. And I had to go 3 times around the block, and then I walked into the lobby, and there was Gene Simmons. And then he said, hey, Doro, I heard you wanted to do a new record. And he said, yeah, let's do something together, and if it doesn't work out, nobody will know, but if it works out, great. So we did many things in New York City, and Gene produced one of our records. It was in 1990, and we recorded it in LA, but we started it in New York. And so New York means the world to me. I lived there for 25 years. And now I have a little place there in New York, but I have a little place in Florida too. But New York, I love all the bands in New York, but Kiss, Anthrax, Type O Negative. Oh, God, yeah.
Thank you for going one-on-one with the Grim One. What would you like to say to all the heavy metal maniacs out there who are watching in closing words?
Metalheads, I love you more than anything in this world. We will always stick together. I wish you all the best, lots of metal power, and, keep on rocking. Stay metal. I love you. You're always deep inside my heart für immer. Oh, we are all we need.